Well, hey there, and welcome to Homa Academy Live on a Friday. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see you here. How are you? Hope your greetings, Captain. I read that out as I was just about to say. Hope you're all doing well. What is up? Good to see you. What is up, Elbow? What is up, Chris? What is up, Jilly? What is up, Card? What is up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Got some cool stuff to go through today. Kind of following on from our hybrid casual stuff, we've got a new game that's come out. From one of my favourite studios, Arm Nomads. It's just been actually put over to another publisher's account, I've just checked again today. But we're going to go through that today. But we're going to start off with some hybrid stuff because it got me thinking when I saw this game that I wanted to expand a little bit on some of the hybrid stuff that may help you start. It's more mindset rather than data today, so more of a mindset shift in your game design. So we're going to go through that. We're going to check out this new game called Scrape Master. We're going to check out their App Store assets, their gameplay, obviously, look at their CPI videos, see what we would do and check that out. So there we go. You look hot. Yeah, I am kind of hot today. It's warm today. I think I could have probably done with a shave as well, but there we go. It's a short week for me, so good to see everybody in the Discord this week. And if you haven't joined the Discord, do make sure you go and join us in there as well. Let's get things going today. First off, just before we go any further, we have got a poll that we're running right now over on the community tab inside your YouTubes. So just click on the community tab and cast your vote for us, because these polls will really help us shape our content and how we can serve you guys better. So I really encourage you to just take a couple of seconds. I'll even let you off leaving the stream real quick and just give us a vote there. Let us know. What's up, Chris? Good to see you. Happy free a day indeed. So yeah, really curious to know your thoughts on this. The most important aspect to you when thinking about partnering with a publisher, and this way we can make sure we're serving you exactly how you want and how we can do better for you. On that sort of ilk, we also have the Pocket Gamer Awards. We've got the official announcement that we are nominated for Best Publisher of 2023. So I highly recommend and would be much appreciated if you could go and give us a vote there. If you think we're deservingly so of that award, I would love for you to show your support in that. There will be a link in the description, and especially if you're on the replay, please do and go and show your support for us, and let's see if we can do some good in that. Pocket Game, obviously a really prestigious company in the industry worldwide, so we're really honoured and super thrilled that we've been nominated. I don't understand how Netflix made it to that list. Well, Netflix have made some big moves. I honestly think it's between us and Netflix this year, looking at that list. I know, obviously, I'm quite biased, but Homer's had an incredible 18 months. We've had many hit games. Obviously, Attack Hole is still crushing. That is by far going to be one of the biggest games of the year. And all of our other titles have been performing especially well. We've had some big products out. So I think we really earn our way onto that list. So yeah, I think Netflix, I think they're going to be the ones to beat, if I'm honest. So that was that. Next week is CPI show. And if you want to get some feedback on your CPI videos that maybe haven't performed as well as you'd hoped, go inside the Academy, and off the dashboard you can see you just fill in a few little details, open up your videos, send them to us, and myself and Oleg will be on next week. So CPI show next Friday, and we'll review your CPI videos. So if they haven't performed as well as you'd hoped, or you just want to come along and grab some tips, because Oleg shares golden nuggets galore each time we do this. So I encourage you to upload your videos and you can be featured on next week's show, if there's enough time, as always. But yes, there we go. So let's get into a couple of things today. Like I said, I want to talk a little bit about, what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about game maps this week, and this was completely inspired by the game we're going to check out this week from the screenshots. Now, again, I want to really reaffirm right now that this isn't a data driven decision as such. This is more about your mindset from moving from hyper casual to hybrid, and how I think this is one of the easiest ways that you can begin the transition, even not necessarily from a technical standpoint, but the way you start thinking about your game design and your mindset around monetization. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through, won't take long today, there's only a few little slides here, but what I'm going to do straight away is just do a recap real quick on the distinction between the hyper casual and the hybrid casual, and to make sure with some context what we're going to be talking about in the next 15 minutes. So our hyper casual games are lightweight and minimal UI. I'm sure all of you guys know about hyper casual, and for this purpose the game maps that was essentially put in to stop the infinite level, infinite level games, so the never ending one level games that hyper casual kind of spawned from. We started to see the level progression bars coming in to make a natural break in these infinite games, right? That's kind of where it spawned from. We first saw it in Helix Jump, really, way back when, where that literally had a level 1 to 2, and then it would scroll across as you got to the bottom, then you get to level 2, and then it just repeated, and there was no reason for it whatsoever, but it made a distinction between the stopping of the gameplay to basically ensure that they could serve up an interstitial at the end of the level and keep the session, oh wow, that's hard, session time short for monetization, right? And then for the hybrid, we're obviously talking about the essence of hyper casual in the ease of gameplay, the snackable content, but enriched and enhanced by tons of additional meta and content within that, but really focusing on the hybrid model of monetization, skewing heavily towards in-app purchase and rewarded video, right? How does that all sound? English is hard. Yes, it is. So you're all with me right now. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're with me. That would be very helpful. So that's kind of the distinction. I know it sounds kind of obvious, but I really want to lay this out so we're all clear on why we're talking about what we're talking about, and to ensure that you know where this is coming from, and hopefully as we progress in the next 5-10 minutes you'll understand where I'm coming from, and hopefully this is going to be super helpful, right? So that's where we are in terms of hybrid and hyper, in terms of the level progressions and making these level based games, right? Arch Hero level icons, exactly, right? So even in Arch Hero, which is arguably the very first most popular hybrid casual game that really makes all the lists all the time, whilst they don't have a game map, they have game areas. So it's really loose in this sort of terms, right? But yeah, those icons are awesome. So let's crack on and let's go to some stuff. All right, so why progression bars and maps help your players. So this is really the seating of all of this. It's like, I'm going to read down. We've got a couple of examples there now, and before you make any assumptions, your game maps do not have to be super fancy in this context. I've chosen some nice ones there. You see a Toy Story one on the right. But these types of game maps have been around since forever. Probably you'll all recognise Candy Crush has got a very similar game map. And what this does, it positions your player into your game's universe really simply, and you immediately know where you are. And this is super important when we start talking about emotions and stuff, right? When how does the player feel You can see the list here. I'm going to read down them a little bit, but for the most part, I hope the text on the screen here is kind of giving you starting to get your brain ticking over in terms of what a game map can do. And I want to like start off by saying, if you can think, if someone can give me a name of an endless runner in the App Store, someone give me a name of a really popular not endless runner, like a hypercasual runner, and there are literally thousands to choose from. Who's going to win viewer of the day today? First one in the chat to give me a name of an endless runner. I know you can do it. I believe in you. You will win absolutely nothing. Subway Surfers. What is up, Colette? Farm Raid Elbow. Farm Raid, okay. So Subway Surfers. All right, great one, Colette. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Subway Surfers doesn't have a map. But for the most part, I'm thinking more to do with the classic endless runner. I call him an endless runner, but you know what I mean, where you get to the end, you do a 30-second gameplay, and then you just start over and over and over and over. Temple Run, yeah, right? We all know these types of games. And what can happen is that if we were then to put these things in a map, it would really ground our player in the endless runner world. And it would immediately think, if we take the examples of Toy Story, we start on level 12 here from the screenshot, but for that type of game, I'm pretty sure this Toy Story is probably a match 3 or something, which we see these types of these maps very, very frequently. Immediately, you can start seeing here that we are achieving something. We've got some movement and direction to go for. We have goals that are coming up. You can see on the left-hand screenshot here with the little sort of cutie sort of gargoyle type character there on the left-hand screenshot. You can see if we get to the top, we can win all these prizes. So we can get 20 mana, 20 eggs or something, and maybe a new character to play with, right? So it hints at the future progression of where you're going. It highlights some rewards, like we said, just under the gargoyle. And it also gives us the opportunity to trigger the players on fail. So it goes a little bit deeper from the game map itself, but you can see immediately, think about an endless runner here, which is the most typical example. And just by putting in this like it is, we have immediate depth within the game, even though we probably could award these achievements or award these bonuses at the end, right? But it lays it all out so simply for the player. It really does give an overall perceived value of production, right? It makes your game better than it kind of is in a way. And it opens up for all sorts of monetization options as well. Is this all making sense? Basically, a new front to build in anticipation. That's exactly right. It builds that anticipation. It gives you really solid goals to work towards. Everything's laid out in front of you. And don't get me wrong, if your core loop is not strong enough and people doesn't play, this is not a fix to poor gameplay or unengaging gameplay. But what it can do at a really cheap cost to you as a developer is really, if you start thinking about this game map, not only as to show your players, but to guide you as a designer to think, well, what is coming up next? So it's that shift in mindset and that shift in thinking. It's like, okay, so we do a level, and then our first level on of our runner, we're avoiding the hammers that are coming across, right? And then we'll put spikes in. But by doing this, you're immediately thinking, hold on a minute, maybe I need to add a little bit more. Maybe this isn't enough for my player. Why would my player get hooked on my game? Why would they keep coming back? And you can start elaborating you've got more area to elaborate on. So Elbow's just saying the classic progression bar on the top isn't enough. And what's the answer I'm looking for? Yes, it is enough. This is an alternative next level solution because these maps have kind of gone out of fashion, and I think there is room to bring them back. The level wait a minute. This one here is the classic level progression bar that we see from the hypercasual, which is really dumbed down and made a super minimal UI, which is why I'm a massive fan of these ones here, right? These here, I'm a massive fan of these because they show all that information in such a short little space of screen estate. I think these are great. And by the way, if you want a copy of that one, there's a Photoshop file of that level progression bar if you want to take that for reference inside the academy. But yeah, so it's not an either or. It's not it's not one or the other. It's another. This is more to do with thinking about it and how this can evolve your way of thinking when expanding on the games, when we know that the deeper, richer experiences are what we're trying to head for. Does that make sense? I think it's still available. Oh, hold on. It can give you a solid plan of where you see your game going, says Jules. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Does this make sense so far? How could we do a map if our game is a bit abstract? Right? Well, that is a good question. And it is a great question. So why is your game abstract? So I'm just gonna, this is, right, so if your game is abstract, why is it so abstract that I don't understand it? Or do you see what I mean? There must be something that is relatable in your game. Otherwise, we know we've got problem because that is one of the key things we're looking at in marketability is can people relate to it? If they simply don't understand it, you're going to really struggle. You know what I mean, Elbow? Does that make sense? So yeah, we want to this is a check. Do match-3 games still deserve a shot? Well, maybe, sure. I mean, look at what Royal Match has done. They've absolutely crushed it. And that is a very basic match. Well, that's a terrible way to put it. Fundamentally, a Royal Match is a classic, exceptionally polished and well built game, but it hasn't really done anything hugely unique within the genre. I'm a big fan of Royal Match, so I played that a ton, and it just it does what it does really well. So match-3, sure, they're still worth a shot. Let's say it's hard to use comparisons from a real world to build a map for it. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so I'm just going to move on then. Does this make sense though? So it seats you in the world, so we know where we are, we know where we're going to, we've got options to this is what's coming up in a really obvious type way, right? And I think the next slide might help you a bit here because you don't have to have all these fancy graphics, like don't have to have fancy maps at all. That's not the issue here. And you can see for the monetization, and this is which is really what I want to drive home today. This map on the left hand side on the picture there is, I guess it's some kind of space game. Honestly, I'm not sure what that game is, what this is from. But it highlights two things. A, it's quite abstract. Right, Elbow? It doesn't have to be a massive continuation of your game's theme, particularly. And this one works really well. So it's kind of abstract, this one, in of itself. So you don't have to have this massive production value and fancy 2D art. But it is conceptually is what I want you to get your brain around, really. So it makes sense. I've always been a big fan of this idea since to the 8-bit games. There's some great game maps in Super Mario. Yeah, exactly. Right? So looking at this is more to do with the monetization opportunity. And this is the real kicker for me. So whilst it has many benefits on your game design, the monetization, and this is where you can shift and start thinking about your hybrid types of games even more than what Jilly said just a minute ago. It says gives you a solid plan of where your game can go. This part is super crucial, right? it can highlight some upcoming upgrades. Okay, so we've got the examples we've got up there on the screenshots don't really show any upgrades, but it gets your mind thinking. So like we see a lot on the mini game maps that we were talking about, the level progression bars, we see little skulls, we see little lightning bolts and stuff indicating there's something coming up. But when we're on this map, imagine if, let's take the right hand example with the green one there, and say on level 3 it shows us a big rocket launcher, right? So now all of a sudden I'm playing level 1, I'm thinking, oh, let's get to level 3 because there's a rocket launcher and I want to play. But maybe on that number 3 there's an opportunity to keep it forever for a rewarded video, or it's an additional half price in-app purchase for the rocket launcher. Now, even if you don't use the game map in of itself, it gives you an idea by looking at this. It's actually like, you know, a little bubble game design document all in of itself. Okay, so it can highlight some upcoming upgrades. It can give you some bonus and chest levels. And this one, number 3, the rewarded video special side quest, it's kind of where I think this really comes into itself, and it's really well illustrated on that left-hand screenshot between 1 and 2, and then we see a fork in the map where we go off to the right to see some sort of spaceship, or we can continue to number 3. Now this is a great opportunity for unlocking the special bonus area from a rewarded video, or maybe a special pass in-app purchase to unlock all of these types of ones, right? Sparky, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you so much for all your work on Discord, dude. I really appreciate it. Got the bonus chest on the right one, shows something to come. Exactly. So even if you don't adopt this inside your game itself, which I encourage you to do so or think about, I would be drawing a map like this on a bit of paper to start sketching out my game, because it really solidifies what are you trying to do. What does happen on level 6? Anything? Or are you just repeating? Because we know we want to front load the fun here. Nothing has changed and nothing ever will. It's only going to get more. You need to feed the players really fast, right? And get them into it. So it's a really good exercise as part of the mindset and part of thinking about, oh, hold on a minute. Maybe on level 4, we offer them an exclusive weapon or a special power up. If we show the map in the game, we can definitely visualize that for them, which means they've got something to look forward to and they see where they're going. Level 5, well, that's a boss. Imagine if we had that. Well, last week when we played that, what was that? Oh gosh, I can't remember that name of that game from last week. I keep getting it wrong. Star Wars or something like that. They had that huge boss. What if you had a huge boss on one of these maps? And then you're saying, oh my goodness, I've got to get to level 5 and check this boss out, right? So it builds the anticipation. We've got the monetization opportunities here. Maybe we have a skip level. Maybe have an in-app purchase right on the map saying, hey, do you want to buy 3 level skips that you can use anytime, or a golden pass or anything like that? So yeah. These levels menus can also create a nice transition to a new environment rather than just instantly swapping to a new environment without a menu. Exactly. Now we're going to go. Let's go back to that first one on here, and you'll see the one I made for inside the academy. We've got this mountains here, and then we go off to a palm tree area over here. That's the way to do it on these mini ones, and there we go. There's the upgrade. There's a boss. So there's nothing wrong with these at all, and I think you can do both. And we see often they do both. But this is more to do with, as a game designer, looking at maps like this, it's getting into the mindset of, all right, we all know hybrid's coming and we need to start thinking about it. This is probably the simplest way to start shifting your brain around and really expand on the vision of your game and know where you're going with it. And I think it's super powerful. And I wanted to mention this because I love these game maps. They are out of fashion somewhat, But we even saw one on that Voodoo game last week. If you remember, kudos if you got to the end. But right at the end, it threw a map at us. And that was just like a dark background with some white dots. But all of a sudden, we got a map. And now we're like, wow, this game's huge. And coming to your example of transitioning into different environments, I've got some pins that we're gonna go through just a sec. And I'll show you some examples, and they'll be linked under the video inside the academy. So yeah, get creative with this, but I think you should be drawing very much like the one on the left hand side here, this spacey type one. I think I would be drawing something like that, your first 10 levels, and think about where you can branch off. We talk all the time about adding bonus levels in. All right, so at number 5, we're going to draw a little fork off to the side, and that is my boss level. To stop repeating that over and over and over, and all of a sudden, all right, so number 7, maybe we give them a big sword. Maybe they can choose to get that, or maybe they have to get that for the boss, and da 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 da. Make sense? All right, nearly done, promise. All right, so creative, hybrid, monetization. That's really the crux of it today. And I've kind of taken this from my other hybrid presentation that we did. I will link it up here somewhere if you're watching this on the replay. If not, go and search the channel for the rise of Hybridcasual, and you'll see the full hour and a bit presentation we did there. But this is, again, thinking beyond the core loop of a hypercasual and building some layers and some content into it. Get your mindset into the monetization options right from the start. We want to be baking our monetization in as soon as we can and leave room for it, and make sure it's a part of the game design rather than, oh, I'll just throw an interstitial at them here, right? Is just take yourself a little bit further and think about how it all fits together rather than just an infinite runner, or you get what I mean. So often a game map in the game might not even work, right? But what would it look like in the game that you're building now if you sort of interjected a map into it? How would that change the perception of the game? How fancy would it look, and how much meatier it would look? How more exciting would people want to do to carry on if you did put that little icon of a boss coming up? You haven't got a boss? Well, maybe you should add one, okay? But it doesn't necessarily mean that you should. This is just a different way of approaching things and thinking it, and I think the map really works well for that. And of course, it's a pretty cheap way to do it. You could just put a 2D map in here with some circles. Obviously, the fancier you can make it, the better, but if you template it out, it potentially you could reuse this map system again and again if it was to fit, and just plug it in that way. All right, so there we go. I hope that was helpful. Let's have a quick look at some of the examples here. I've got these links. These links will be, oh wow, that really went funky for me. I'll leave these links on underneath the replay that will go up on Monday inside the academy, but I've got some links here. So there is a whole ton of game maps, from the really obscure, the really highly detailed, and all sorts. And I'm banned myself from Pinterest because I could stay on here forever. But this might give you a little bit of inspiration. You can go as fancy as you want, or as simple as you want, but just have a think about, okay, I'm just trying to find one here about the different environments that Sparky was just mentioning, because it's really a really common thing for it to do that. We've actually made quite a few game maps. We had when I was running Rising High, we hired an ex-Disney illustrator, and we made some really nice ones. Here we go. This one's kind of what we're looking for, I guess. So you can see here you're transitioning in between, the beach to the ice to the volcano sort of thing. Chris says Pinterest is a rabbit hole of endless ideas. I have to stop using it too. Yeah, I'm not. I just go. A rabbit hole is a perfect way of saying it. But yeah, so loads of examples. I'll link all this underneath the under the video with all these examples. But this is a really kind of minimal one that looks really fancy. But you can imagine going through all of these, and again, give you some ideas of how to pull off some like cheaper production ones, or maybe not, right? And I've got one more example for some reason. Oh, this one, yeah. So this one I think is really great. This does loads of things for me. This gives you the fork in the road to say, hold on a minute, there's an opportunity for some monetization there. There's an opportunity for the player to potentially, maybe they have a longer level and all they got to do is reach the end and they get this special weapon. But you make it so it's so hard, they need at least 2 goes, so they need to revive for a rewarded video halfway through. You know, you make it so difficult, and then you're basically forcing them to watch it. It's like almost like a watch to win. But there's nothing wrong with that, right? We're thinking about the monetization. Maybe if they get to the end of the level, they can have a half price in-app purchase. Maybe, you know, this kind of thing. So you can get really creative with this stuff. But I like the fact that we have this path of our levels, but we branch out for different special kind of options, and I think it's way more interesting. And one thing that I'd mentioned on the slide was the player agency. So now I can see that I've got the choice. I can either go for this special thing or I can continue on, and I think that's pretty powerful. All right, so there we go. There's my rant today. We're going to have a look through this game today. That is so mean. What about that? There we go. So we're going to look at Scrape Master today. Let's go on to the App Store, actually. No doubt it would have disappeared by now. There we go. So I'm going to put all the slides up underneath the replay inside the Academy. So do go and join the Academy if you're not already. Let me know if you like that. If you want to do, I'll do some more of these. I'd be interested to know. But we're going to have 25 minutes to do this game. Oh my God. So this is what spawned it for me today, because I saw this map and I thought I've got to talk about maps. I just got to talk about it because I think it's really a really good place to start. So this is Scrape Master. It looks like a typical, well, excuse me, it looks like a typical like grass cutter scraping basically, but built by Arm Nomads, which is one of my favorite studios. They've done some really quality games. And I thought this one looks cool. So you got to go and scrape all the stuff off, and it looks like you got to build things as well. I think I saw there's some sort of building element as well, which I thought was pretty neat. So I think we should just fire this up. And you are a master who can scrape anything, literally anything: ice, snow, mud, tiles, parquet, and many other things. All right, let's just, oops, on cue. I'm going to go on airplane mode. I'm just going to turn my Wi-Fi off actually, to ensure we don't get any adverts today. I didn't launch it, did I? No. So I've never played these games before, and we're going to launch this up, and straight away, oh, well, that was a wasted opportunity. That went really quick. All right. Ask, yeah. So anyone seen this one? Anyone played this one? What are we thinking? Skills in 2023, scraping. Right. So it looks really nice. Scrape the snow. There we got our little mini map at the top there, which I actually can't see. Can I press this? I'll get rid of this thing. There we go. So we've got a little mini map there that we saw that I just said. Snowman over into a city. So they've got a mini map there, which is perfectly fine. And let's just run around. Okay. He's cool. Nice character animation. Straight into the game without any hassle. Got a nice arrow pointing to where we got to go, which is nice. The models are fantastic. The controls are really good. Scrape the snow. All right. Okay. So certainly built really nice. So we've seen it. That was quick. All right. Cool. Nice particle effects. Yeah, so Arm Nomads have built some really quality games, right? Their production is really nice, which is why I really dig what they do. So upgrade your tool. Okay. Nice. Really annoys me when the van says scrap instead of scrape. Alright, Sparky, let's have a look at that. I didn't notice it. So what do we want? We want to, let's do this and that. And we got some scrap master. Do you think they meant to do it though? Because it's what's that? Ride this. Alright. So let's sell this real quick. Something tells me that's going to be on a timer. Let's go. Oh yeah, little timers come up here. Oh, this is fun. Let's get all this stuff. Oh, let's just bust it all up anyway. Nice. The controls are really nice, I can assure you. Very good. Alright. So clearly we need to upgrade our backpack or whatever we're calling it. That doesn't... Oh, there's a bug. Okay. Load. How much have I got? 80. Alright. You forgot money, so it's pointing you towards that. Oh, okay. Let's just keep going up. No, that's definitely a bug there. Anyways, let's go and get this stuff. So we've seen these games a lot, right? So before we know where this is going, tell me what you're thinking straight away, because this is, whilst they built it really nice, I think it's certainly a great build quality. It's really satisfying, so kudos to them, they really nailed it. This is not a new concept, and I really need to... Oh, let's just go and pick some more stuff up. What do you guys think? Because we're going to be short on time, so I'm going to sort of burn through this a little bit more than normal today. I want to know what they're going to do different, because we've seen some really nice versions of, you know, cutting the grass and doing all this kind of stuff. I think it's going to need more. Like, what's the super hook here? Looks decent. Satisfying and good core loop. Interested to see how it develops the more you play, as you might get a bit too repetitive. Exactly. That, unfortunately, and brutally hard is my worry with this. Because it's been done to death, this sort of thing. And like I said, there's been some really good ones. One of my favourite was the Junkyard Master, I think. That came out last year, which was really unusual, but they built that really nicely. But it kind of loses its oomph, and it gets a little bit too repetitive. Build quality takes away everything, but the idea is cool too. Finally getting somewhere where we can pick a load of more stuff up. There's nothing janky about the build here, which is really nice. Let's try and get some more stuffs. Looks like it's running really smooth. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Honestly, so if you don't know our Arm Nomads, which is ARMNOMADS LLC, go check them out. They've done some really cool games. Like I said, this one has just been published by Zplay, which is an interesting choice of publisher, I got to admit. But fair plays to them. Okay, how much money do I? 172. So yeah, slightly grindy at the front here, but you know, that's to be expected. The little guy, our little guy, actually runs kind of fast, so it's not feeling horrible right now. Just gonna do that's annoying. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay, let's go and pick all this stuff up. It's definitely got that feel of the cleaning up type thing, which I like personally. Kind of goes to my OCD a little bit. I kind of like the fact we've got to pick all the bits up. It's kind of nice. The environment's really nice. The stacking's good. So build is 100 right now. Wouldn't change anything, I don't think. Feels satisfying to scrape this stuff up. Interesting to know if they played on an iPhone. No doubt there'd be a bit of haptic as well, which I think would work really nice for this game especially. Oh, hello, what happened there? Next level. Wait, what? Should we go to the next level? I don't know. I didn't think I'd finish that one. Oh, okay. That's one for the OCD gang. Oh, here's our map. Okay. That's kind of cool. Oh, wow, is that it? Well, that is a missed opportunity for me. Well, there we go. So for me, I think I would have liked that map to, whilst it could have driven to the next one, I'd like to see what's up here. And that's where I was going. Like, it'd been really nice to see where I mean, that was, dare I say it, almost pointless. But okay, fair enough. At the top, there's a star system. More complete is more stars. You can finish the level. Oh, I see. Got it. Well done. Yeah, I told you I miss loads of stuff on the stream when I'm sharing this with you guys. That's a great shout. Yeah, maybe I think maybe they could have pointed that out a little bit. Maybe I should have seen it. I don't know. What do you think? What's happened to our chat here? Well, that's a bit of a pain, isn't it? Let's do that. Reboot our chat there. So yeah, I can see all your comments, guys, but they're not coming on the screen. So yeah, good shout, Elbow. I didn't notice that at all. Oh, what's that? What do we do? Take it. Sure. Oh, okay, it's another sell point. Oh, that's good. And here's the oh, the walls come down there. That's kind of weird, but good. All right. Let's see. Oh, I've got a lot of money now. Nice. So that was a significant upgrade we got there. Okay. All right. So I like the way the walls come down there. Nowhere near the start. I need some more power here. Let's see if we can get some more power to cut this blue stuff. Power. New. Ooh. Okay. So we've got a new scraper. That's good. So presumably we can get this stuff now. Yeah, good. Other than that, we go in here as well. That's kind of neat. So speak to me. What are we thinking today? Because I want to get your views on this. It looks like a particularly good version of one of these games. So kudos to the devs. It's super satisfying. I'll give it that. Not sure how exciting it is for me. I mean, we are a little bit jaded because we play so many games, right? But I could definitely imagine just chilling out, clearing all this stuff in the in the OCD gang for sure. Wall coming down makes it look like a secret lab. It does a little bit, doesn't it? Where's all our money as well? I keep forgetting. We should have tons of money here. How about that? All right. Let's go and get all this money. And let's do some super duper power here. Oops. Right, should be able to get the bit repetitive. Superb graphics, yeah. That's what I mean. Alright, so this is now our game. We have built an amazing good quality build here. And we've got a really nice mechanic. What are we going to do to this game to really set it apart from all the other grass collecting ones? All the other scooped in, clean it up sort of job. They've done this really well though, guys. Honestly. That's really nice. Time to get your creative hat on. What are we doing? So I really want to challenge you on these one. I broke it. I really want to. Oh, okay. Renovation. I want to challenge you to come up with some really cool ideas like we do on a Friday. Time to flex a little bit on your imagination, right? What we're going to do. I really got to see what this fan does. Choose materials. Designer. And 700% diamonds. That's a rewarded video all day long. Okay. Shall we watch the rewarded video? Give me a +1 in the chat if you want to watch the video. I will turn the thing on. Or do we go simple? Certainly can imagine folks on a cleaning spree on this whilst their own full of yeah, so you're sitting in a dirty apartment but you've got a really clean game. Well, should we watch the video or should we just do simple? I forgot what I said. Oh, that's fixed the chat. So +1. What is going on here? This has all gone belly up here. Mix another popular mechanic to break up the scraping mechanic. Have a think about how. That is exactly where I'm going. I wouldn't have such a long play on demolishing the house. I'd maybe get the house demolished quicker and then turn the play to rebuilding the house. So not that much scraping, just get straight into it a little bit more. I think there's definitely, I'm going to go simple. I think there's definitely something to that. The first level is really grindy, isn't it? Always. What do we do then? Are we putting stuff back here? What is that? That's like we're putting the ice back. Ooh. Oh, they've done that really well too. The controls are great. There's our diamonds now we're now getting. Why are we putting ice back? That makes no sense. What? I don't know if it's the material or what, but this makes no sense to me at all. That is super weird. Here's the blue ice. Ooh, that's really nicely done though. Okay, I'm kind of weirded out here. Is it just me, or does it look like we're putting the snow and the ice back? Because that is so weird. Unless it's not meant to be snow and ice, but why would we be doing this? And again, of course we have poetic license in our game design, but this makes no sense at all to me. Missing a bit there somewhere. And I guess we're going to put the wood back, right? We do this so they hire us. Yeah, but that's kind of on it. Oh, look at that. Dude, they built this so well. And what's really great here is that our character has really speeded up, which I think is a really nice little point because often we grind and we're running so slow, but they've really speeded this up. And they have built this so nicely. I've missed one plank there somewhere. But what incarnation are we putting ice and snow back? That's just stupid. The models are great. I'm really... Right. So that was slightly underwhelming. I've left behind... Oh, did I? Oh, well. I'm going to lose it. Sparky's still totally triggered because they spelt scrape wrong on the valley. On the van. Help me. Here's Granny. So the map's kind of nice there, but I think they've missed the opportunity somewhere. So we've got this one and then we go to a new environment. So we're going to scrape the snow. That is so weird to me. Okay. Honestly though, I could literally, I think I could literally, it's super satisfying to pick all this stuff up. I'm going to do that and that and that. I've got loads of money. That's cool. Spend it all, obviously. That is a big scraper. Nice. Yeah, they've certainly smashed this part of the game. Super kudos. That is really satisfying. The stacking goes up pretty tall as well, doesn't it? Which is good to see. Oops. Nice. So maybe it doesn't need anything else. I am bamboozled why we do it again. Oh, I've got to watch a video now. So good idea of giving that first one free, where we could ride the little snow plow type thing there. Get us into it. Might be worth watching a video. The floor install looks so satisfying, doesn't it, Just? I really don't understand what's happening. No, I'm slightly bamboozled of why we're actually putting the stuff back down. Okay. Maybe they didn't complete their payment, so he's yeah, maybe it's just like, no, you didn't pay us, you can have all the snow back. So yeah, I was expecting them to like lay grass or lay paving or something. Well, I don't know. That it just, it so weirded me out that we put all the snow back because it's exactly the same textures. So that's a massive disappointment for me. Let's power up here if we can. There we go. Nice. Sure. Okay. New scraper. So we should be able to go inside here. Or maybe the other colour. This one. Nice. Oh boy, they've really done that nicely. I know I'm gushing a bit really, but I really recommend you go and play this. Link is over on the Discord in the new game section. Head on over there to get the link. It feels really good. And I know time's running on a bit, but we're going to finish this one because I'm hoping we can get to the new area and see if anything makes sense. Did we come up with anything else? Ahmet, what is that? Did we come up with anything what we do? So they're definitely going down the road of renovating the house and adding new, laying a new path or whatever, which I think is kind of cool. So they scrape all the stuff away and then you lay new floors, add trees and stuff is probably where I think they're going with this one. What else could you do with it? We do this one though. Snow's really nice as well. We need to power up real quick. These are long levels though, aren't they? Don't you think? What am I doing? Power. Okay. Nice. Hopefully that is a big scraper. Come on now. Perfect. Alright. Oh boy. All day, all night with that. That's really good. Add wallpaper could be another one. Oh yeah, Colette. Maybe do like a bit more of a decorating thing. That's not a bad shout. We played that, what was it? Be My Guest, I think, from Pantheon. That was a similar thing where you did the redecorating. What is up? Wow. Okay, I'm going to go for it. Sorry if I butchered your name. Bayran Sultan. What is up? Good to see you on the stream. Just going to press all the buttons. I really want to power through this and see if we can get a little bit further, because I'm busting to know what they do. In actual fact, as the more we upgrade here, the better it's getting. That's really nice. Do you have to watch a video to ride the scooter now? Yes, we do. So that little scooter to sell closer to where we're picking up. There we go. And to ride the little mini scraper truck as well. Let's pick that money up. Oh, look, we've got a couch in this one for the designer as well. I don't think that should be like a rewarded video to like decorate it. I think that's really rubbish. No offense, but I think that should be the... Look how high that is. That's really cool. Well, this is even more satisfying. I love they're really generous with the punitiveness, if that is a word. It's certainly a non-punitive way of spreading all this stuff out. Takes all the stuff to the selling point. Yeah, it does. That's it. The little truck there, and there's also another little truck that you can do as a like a what you call it? Like a... Oh my god, my brain's gone. No, honestly, I have totally. I need one of those little do not compute symbols on my brain, like the dial-up modem kicking in, or spinning wheel. What do you call it? Like snowplow. There you go. I think you'll find that is absolutely right. I got it. I am genius. So yeah, I think it's... So here's the deal for me on this one. None of us can knock the build quality. It's really nice. Everything that they've done here is really cool. But we're putting back the stuff we just scraped up. And unless we want to watch a rewarded video to do their house up, we're just putting all the stuff back. I think this is bonkers. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Now, what I think, running off their theory of the renovation type thing, which I think is a solid idea and pretty satisfying, you should have like... If you're going to go down that route, why don't you have like a really low-end couch, right? And a table or something and a lamp. But for a rewarded video, you can get like a super duper fancy couch and a TV in it or something, right? But to put this back as... Oh, it just makes... It's really triggered me a bit. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's sport it, in fact, I would say. I mean, this is super satisfying, don't get me wrong. But I don't see the logic in that. Supersonic would have kept it to 5-star. Yeah, probably. They could have planted the grass in... Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to go for bay for now. But that's exactly my point. Why are they not just putting grass back and a path? I think it's a really odd choice, this does. Just to... I mean, it's not even renewing it. I can almost understand us putting the wood floor back, because that was kind of manky and scruffy, and we cleared all the rubbish away. But to put the ice... That's mental. Unless we're I don't know. Let's go to this new level here, and let's have a quick look at that, and then we'll start to wrap things up today. And we'll maybe have a quick look at the CPI videos. This is cool though with the trucks though, isn't it? I left all the money again. Oops. And our map here, which I really like, but I think they... Ooh, Scrape City. Okay. I think they missed the trick. Oh, what's this? Cool. Alright, so much. The weather's really nice. It seems like we've kept our ability to hold more. So it hasn't reset our character to the point where we can only hold 5 things, which I think is really nice. I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to keep playing it because It's really satisfying. There is a bug there, but that's okay. We'll let him off. Look at that. Very cool. There is a game called Landlord Inc. where you roll the glass. Yeah, there's hundreds of these. Is it 24 play or free play? Released a really nice grass cutting one. There's junk. Honestly, there's hundreds of these games, which is why I was really curious of how you can change it up. And I like the fact that we can clear all this nonsense away, but only on the basis that we're going to redo it with nice things. And that's why I'm a little disappointed, I would say, because I thought we were just going to make it look real pretty. And we literally just relayed the things we scraped up, which I can't get my brain around at all. So I guess at this point we should start thinking about what we're thinking. What? English is super hard today. That's kind of that was kind of impressive even for me. What do we think? Out of 10. Let me know in the chat there. What do we think out of 10 today for the game? Super curious to know what you guys are thinking. We have an 8 for Chris. I think it's an 8. No, I need something though. Yeah. I do like playing a really nicely built game though. There's something about it. Everything's really good. It's a 7 for Bay. It's a Suhail's in for a 7.5. That's a respectable score. And if you're first time here and you've not done it, or you're on the replay, leave it in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think of this game. There's no right or wrong here. I'm curious. Chris is in for an 8. It's got to be an 70. It's got to be an 80. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of so disappointed that we just put the stuff back. I almost feel like I did something wrong. It doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, we're clearing up all the garbage and the objects in these rooms. Maybe we're just relaying what we found, and the rewarded videos. The rewarded video makes us fill it up nicer, but it seems a weird concept that to me. Maybe they're A/B testing some new mechanics. Well, that is a definite thing, isn't it, Chris? It's possible. But like I said, the link is in the Discord if you want to go and play this. I recommend you should play this. And you can blame me later while you're still cleaning up tiles at 10 o'clock tonight. Because this is super satisfying. I'm almost going to say this is probably the most satisfying, one of the most satisfying games I've played of this type for me. It just feels really good. You get one more free scooter ride, it seems. It says free. Alright, well let's just burn through this because I'm super curious to see what we can do. So here we go. I think this is where I've got an issue with this game. Chris said it would be cool to give the player the option to select what gets put back. Choose between wood or tile, grass or wood deck, etc. Did our chat just literally just jump back into life there? Okay. I think renovation makes sense, but it makes sense. It means it's refreshing the interiors with the clean parts. Right, yeah. I think here is... So I can now replace it with the simple materials, and now I get like a water. So it's just like some sort of office, and we get like a water cooler, or we can get 700 diamonds and make it look really fancy. If they wouldn't have added a crowd, if they would have added a crowds upgrade, controlling an army to scrape, would have looked quite cool. Oh, what, do you mean more people? Like a little crew? Oh, that's a kind of a cool idea, isn't it? That'd be nice for a rewarded video as well. But the outside part, well, I can't do the video. So now we're just gonna take this. So I can clear that away for a video to earn money. And this is just new stuff, but the same as what? So this definitely looks different from that first one, doesn't it? It definitely looks nicer. And we are getting diamonds, but we would have got 700. So this is looking way better. Honestly, I reckon they messed up on that first one. I would have put this one first, no? This makes way more sense. Not that I'm addicted or anything. 7-hour stream later. We were going to wrap it up in a minute, but I kind of want to just finish this one. So what's this blue? Oh boy, did I miss a bit? Wow, I would never have got that. So this blue looks like the ice thing. Look how tall that goes. What is going on? Surely this should be like a path. Someone help me out in the chat. Am I going mad here? I really don't want to get this wrong, but I feel like this is fundamentally a bit weird. Surely this should be like a sandstone path or something. Why is it ice? Or is it meant to be paving? This is clearly the floor. The grass looks more clean. Yeah, it does. The grass definitely looks more clean, doesn't it? But that looks like ice. That means it's not even icy, man. Look at the way they've done this. Fair dues. So we've definitely cleaned it up. It's a lot more obvious on this one. What is with that ice though? Marble. Do you think it's meant to be marble? You reckon that's meant to be marble? I think you're right. I think the blue is a terrible choice here. In fact, almost to the point where that's just wrong. Maybe it's blue stone. Alright. I think we can give him the benefit of the doubt, but hands up in the chat. Who thinks that looks like ice rather than paving? It looks icy or watery though, right? And when we're talking about renovating and making it look prettier, you're kind of living and dying by the graphics here, don't you think? I think that is a bad. I think that's a mistake. It looks like ice, right? Oh, decoration. That's new, isn't it? It was renovation before. Oh, this is where our water cooler is. So I think the idea behind this game is really good. What do we do here? That is a lot of boxes. Oh, look, we've got these little... Okay. Oh, they do put trees... Okay. Nice. Alright, that's kind of cool, isn't it? This should have been the first level. That I don't think that ice did it any favours at the start. Okay, so it is an office. Huh. This looks very sparse though, doesn't it? Scales a bit. There's our water cooler. I think their art is bailed up. Picking blue is really annoying. Yeah, isn't it just? Alright, we're going to have to wrap it up because stream is running on. And I guess we're just going to go. But I'd highly recommend that. Yeah, I think that's just a shame. I think this should have been level 1. And I think if this blue was like a sandstone path or just a grey colour, That would have been really nice. The other thing I think what would have been good here is that if it zoomed out and kind of built a wall around this or something to make it feel like, da-da, you've done it, you know. It's the first game we've played on the stream for about 3 years that doesn't give us any confetti. But I think on this case, it could have done with a little bit more of a fanfare to zoom out and show what we've just built. I think that would have been helpful. And I think it's a very slightly disappointing that the map here, honestly, is kind of irrelevant, which is even weird. It's kind of weird. I've got to stop playing it, and I really don't. Oh, that was close. Is it Game Studio? Kaver, can you say that in a different way? Is it a game studio? Oh, do you mean like was the office a game studio? All right. Anyway, so there we go. That was Scrape Master from Arm Nomads, published just now by Zplay. That was pretty good. That was really nicely built. The link is in the Discord. I will find it for you one sec. So if you're not on the Discord, go and check it out. You'll get all the links to the games that we share throughout the week. Just going to make sure it's there for you. Pretty sure it is. And of course, I'm on airplane mode, so forget about it. But down there, oh my god, down there, just go and get the Discord link. Join us in there. Come chat with me throughout the week as well. And of course, join the Academy if you want to get even more goodness and goodies inside there. I will be posting up the replay of the slides today with the PDF download for you. Hope you found that helpful. Do let me know. Give me a like, subscribe and stuff if you want me to do more of those. I'd super appreciate that. And if you're on the replay, leave me a comment. Let's reskin this and build with janky controls. Okay. No worries, Chris. Glad to hear it. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining with me today. I really like that game. I'd highly recommend going and downloading it. It is in the Discord, like I just said. That is one of the best, most satisfying games of that genre that I've played. There was definitely a junkyard one which felt really satisfying, and there was a couple of lawnmower ones or grass cutting ones that were really, really nice. I could literally keep playing that. I think they made a mistake with their textures right from the ice level there, because it felt like we were putting the ice back, which just, it made me disappointed. It made me disappointed that it kind of broke it for me, which was really sad. But I think that second one where we started putting trees in there, I think if that's the direction it's going, that is very cool indeed. So we'll see how that one goes on. Alrighty, I missed a few chats. Was that to me, Joey? Sky Studios. What's the best way to contact Homa for a partnership with an experienced studio? The best way is you can hit me up on Discord. Feel free to do that. Send an email to partnerships@homagames.com. So that's partnerships@homagames.com. But almost certainly the way, if you include in that email or include to me a link to your portfolio and a pitch deck if you have one. And if you haven't got that, of course you can just submit a game onto Homa Labs with all the links in the descriptions and run a test with us, and we'll pay to test your games, obviously. But hit up partnerships@homagames.com or hit me up on Discord. It's the best way. Best hour for today. Thanks, Karen. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. So yeah, there we go. That's going to wrap it up for me for now. Have a great week, everybody. CPI show next week. So be sure, if you want to see your videos on a stream like this time next week, there is a facility inside the Academy to upload your CPI videos, and myself and Oleg will play them and see if we can figure out what might have not gone so well for you. And there we go. So with all that said and done, cheers everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. I will see you next week, and join me inside the Discord for more, as always. But for now, that'll do. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.